We are live. Hello and welcome to our yoga intermissions on Saturdays. I am live if you are here with me at around 9:30 a.m. Eastern on Saturday, the 14th of June. If you do not have a blanket or a towel that you can roll up, or you don't have some sort of a cushion or even a bed pillow, run and grab that now. Walk slowly and safely. My name is Karen, coming to you from Vermont, and today is all about giving a big loving to our low backs. I have shared low back tips and tricks before, but this is a great reminder, especially for anyone who has been doing a lot of gardening or a lot of sitting. The key to low back, there's really no one key, right? There's core strength, there's glute strength, and there's flexibility in the psoas or the hip flexors. So we're going to spend some time on that. But then there are some actual little tips, such as when you rise from a forward fold, whether you're seated or standing, breathe out and sort of what they say in Devil Wears Prada, gird your loins, right? So strengthening, lifting, and activating your low belly can help quite a bit. I happen to be sitting on a little my friend Nancy cushion today. So we're going to go ahead and start there. If you are not sitting on something and your knees are much higher than your hips, go ahead and grab, I'm going to demonstrate with the blanket. I have folded over the blanket so that there's a nice soft roll fold on one end. And that meets your sitting bones when you sit down. You can do the same with your cushion or your pillow, but the idea is to tilt the hips a little forward, the pelvis a little forward to relax the knees. That takes some of the strain out of the low back. And then if you have a teeny little bit of activation just below the navel, in and up, we're in good shape. All right, so we're going to close the eyes. Maybe palms up on your thighs. Take a big, big breath in through the nose and out through the mouth. Hand on heart, hand on belly. We're going to work some belly breaths. We're going to breathe in really fully. First, just fill up the belly. 360 degrees, so feel it in the back. And release through the mouth. Feel the belly soften. Inhale, belly breath. And soften, exhale. Third time. Really feel those ribs behind you spread and breathe out. Now we go from the belly and fill all the way up into the chest. So you want to feel the hand that is on your heart actually, I say rise, but it's going to move forward a little bit, maybe rise a teeny bit too. So breathing into the belly, into the heart, let it all go. Into the belly, the back of the heart, let it go. One more time. Release. Drop your hands in your lap. Let's consider for a moment something that brings joy to us. Maybe it is, if you're like me, I am passionate about flowers and taking photos, mostly macro photos of flowers. I love their intricacy, and yet they seem so simple and light. But maybe you have something that brings you joy that is a being or a piece of music or a color or a shape or a portrait. Doesn't matter. Maybe it's doing something in particular. Skiing, cross-country skiing, taking a long drive, chatting with friends, any of those things. So close your eyes, shrug your shoulders up to your ears, breathe in. Press the shoulders behind you and let them drape down your back. Now bring to mind whatever it is that brings you joy. And feel where that takes presence, where that manifests in the body. Like I could feel a kind of lightness and opening around my eyes and my cheekbones. And wherever you observe that joy, funnel some of it into the heart center, your chakra of compassion, of kindness, of joy, of sharing joy. And that chakra itself is represented by the color green. So maybe you consider I don't know, raw emerald, something that shines, a green gem-like item with light just shining through it. And let that green light really fill the whole body, top to bottom. You might even feel it in particular at the base of your spine and the crown of your head. With that joy in mind, consider your intention for this practice. It could be anything. It could be coming back to joy. It could be staying with your breath. It could be learning something new or simply being. With that in mind, we'll drop the chin to the chest, release the hands by your sides. Your fingertips are on the ground. Lower the shoulders, let the head hang. Loosen the calves and the knees and the thighs. And a little pendulum swing left and right of the chin. And now if it feels okay, you can move your pendulum swing into circles. You may find there's a lot of crickle, crackle. There may be a little snapping in the spine. Unless you have a neck injury. Oh, excuse me, that is all generally fine. If you have a neck injury, I'd stop. And then the opposite direction. Chin will drop to the chest and then comes parallel to the earth. We take a look over the right shoulder. As you breathe in, get nice and tall. And as you breathe out, turn your head a little bit more without turning your torso. Eyeballs will follow all the way to the right. Go ahead and look down at your right fingertips. Sweep the right hand behind your head and let it rest there. You might feel a little pull, a little stretch along the left side of the neck, maybe into the shoulder, into the scapula, and the muscles above that. They begin with a P, but I can't remember what they're called. And we release, drop the chin to the chest, bring it parallel to the earth, and take a look over the left shoulder. Breath in, and twist the neck a little bit more. The eyeballs follow. Same again on this side, chin drops, so you're looking at your left fingertips, and your left hand reaches up and comes to the back of your head. We don't push or pull, or if we do, we stop. We just let the weight of the hand and gravity settle, bringing some stretch all along the right side of the neck. Hand releases, chin drops to the chest, and the chin lifts. Sweep the left arm nice and high, and then get really, really tall in your torso. So to do that, send the sitting bones more to the earth and then release the rib cage, release the knees. We're going to go ahead and bend that left elbow so the fingers come to your back or the nape of the neck. That might push your head forward a little. That's all right. We're going to lift up with the right hand and just take a hold of that elbow and see if we can gain a little more distance down the back. My left knee loves to come up. It must be all of the attachment to the hip. Right hand down, left arm high again, and now I'll take a tilt over to the right. keeping both sitting bones on the ground. You might have a little extra space to tilt a little more and reach your right arm out or bring your forearm to the earth, but don't overstretch here. Heart is lifted, so you might use that left elbow and bring it backward a little bit. And if you feel any discomfort, like you're dumping energy into your low back, you're going to tilt your pelvis forward. We'll rise up again. This time, left hand down, right arm high, get super tall. Bend your right elbow, fingers to the nape of your neck or your back. And then we bring a little extra into it by taking a hold of that elbow. Yeah, I can feel the tricep and under the arm. Yummy. And then we'll take our tilt. Left arm down, right arm up, get tall, and tilt over to the left. I can feel this all the way into the rib cage on my back, which is pretty groovy. Can you imagine if that word really came back into play? Right elbow lifts a little bit more to the sky to open the heart. Both arms high. Cactus-shaped arms. Fingers like you mean it. Spread them nice and wide. Make fists of your hands. And now imagine your hands are flowers that are going to bloom super fast as you exhale. So we breathe in. Exhale. Breathe in. Fists, fists, fists. Exhale. And once again. When you drop the hands behind us, you're welcome to just stack them on your low back, or if you have the stretchiness, you can interlace your fingers. We want to bring the elbows long but not locked, so the knuckles are either on the ground or close to the ground. Now, if you have some trouble with that, that is okay. As I said, you can just bring the hands to the low back and not extend the elbows. So we're drawing the belly in and up. We're loosening the hips. We're widening the chest and squeezing the shoulder blades together. Now we're going to go ahead and reach the heart forward. We're not rounding the spine. We're just keeping it nice and straight, finding a fold. Reach, reach, reach. Then maybe drop your head and maybe your hands lift a little bit in their bound. And we rise up and find our way to a child's pose. And you're probably thinking, what is going on? Where's the low back part? All of that had low back work in it. Taking all 6 positions of the spine, movements of the spine, super important. And we did a couple of them. So forward fold, back bend, we did those. Tilt, left and right, we did those. The only thing we didn't do was twist. But right now we're going to focus on the back. If you need a pillow or something for your belly to come onto, or for your head and chest, take that. Direct your arms forward. Hard to hear me because there's a blanket under my mouth. And the sitting bones draw backward to your heels. Now, the clue here is to get the knees as wide as you can. For some of us, the knees won't do that, and that is okay. That's where I would recommend a bed pillow between the thighs and lengthwise forward. Here, this opens up the low back, softens the low back. You watch or be aware of the breath moving up and down the spine, and then left and right, almost as if you're widening your sacrum. We'll draw up to the knees, and if you need to bring either something behind your knees because your knees don't bend very well, or underneath your knees, like even folding the mat to do so, please feel free. Let's take some hip circles. Find as much movement as feels good. And then we'll move into, so this brings a little bit of the twist, just a softness of twist. And we come to a steady, sturdy tabletop. Fingers are taking up a lot of real estate. And then our cows and our cats, the easiest way to find two of the spinal movements. And this helps tighten your glutes, which helps support your low back. And before we work the psoas and do the other two, the twists, we're going to find a neutral spine. And this in and of itself is so beautiful for the spine. You want a little bounce in the elbows, knees right under the hips. You draw the navel toward the spine so the spine is straight. So we're not dropping the belly and we're not rounding the spine. It's like a little side table here. Here is the challenge. Right leg floats off the mat behind you. For most of us, including me, automatically my right hip lifts. So I have to lower that hip a little, which means I need to engage my belly. I need to press the top of my left foot to the earth and make my left glutes work. I'm going to add to the challenge, bringing the left arm by the left ear. We pause here. Just feel this. Draw the belly in. Don't let it drop. Squeeze the right glutes. Reach away with the right heel. Now around the spine, bring the knee and elbow together nice and slowly. And scoop the knee and the elbow up toward the belly. Inhale, extend. Find that squareness in the hips. Drop your left hand. Now for the glute stretch. The right leg floats above the left calf as far outside your mat as you can get it. And then you slide it or glide it backward. You might come to your forearms. The front of the right hip to the left heel. We don't want to be leaning toward the left or leaning toward the right. We want to be as even Steven, equilibrium as possible. If you do not feel this in your left glutes, go ahead and tuck your right toes under, float the right knee off the mat, and then send the heel behind you. Oh yeah, baby, baby. It's interesting if our muscles are too tight all the time, in the glutes, in the psoas, you're going to have back problems. If the muscles are too loose in the glutes, in the psoas, you're going to have back problems. If the muscles are too tight in the belly, you might not have low back problems, but you might develop some digestive issues. And if the muscles are too loose, you certainly are probably, likely, maybe, possibly to develop a lordosis in the low back, meaning extra arch in the low back. We're going to come out of this, square up the hips, draw the right knee toward the right tricep, right above the elbow, stretch it back out and bring it down. A little wiggle waggle, maybe something with your neck. Return to a neutral tabletop, square up the hips, left leg stretches. Heel reaches away, square up the hips. For me, I need to bring my press energy into my the top of my right foot and squeeze the left glutes a little bit. Extra challenge for the balance. Knee and elbow draw together, scoop them up, round the spine. Inhale, extend, balance back out. Right hand down, left leg sweeps above the right calf as far as you can take it outside the mat. And then we scooch the front of the left hip toward the right heel. The leg, the shins, doesn't move on the bent knee. Check in with your shoulder blades. If you're sort of sinking in between them, press a little more into your forearms. Imagine, like in Sphinx, you're dragging the mat backward with your hands and your forearms. Not enough stretch on your right glutes. Tuck the left toes under. Lift the knee off the mat and send the left heel farther away from your body. That feels amazing. We'll come out of this into our three-legged tabletop. Square up the hips, left knee above the left elbow, round, drop the head, extend, and knees to the mat. So how do we isolate some of the core muscles to support the low back? So we're going to do something that's a little harder than we often do. I think we may have done it a couple times in the past. How long has it been since the pandemic? That is how long we've been doing this together, which is great. I mean, not happy about the pandemic, but it did bring forth this joy in my life. Okay, so we're going to use the hands, really plant them into the mat like they're super glued there. Tops of the feet, same thing. So if your toes are curled under, uncurl them. Little softness in the elbows. Tabletop, so your tailbone's going to tuck a little bit. Now what we're going to do is we're going to use the belly primarily and then push away with the tops of the feet and the hands to float the knees off the mat. Really draw that belly in. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. In 3, 2, and 1. Drop the knees, a cow and a cat. Neutral spine, we'll take that again. Belly in, so tailbone is tucked a little forward and down. On an exhale, we float, drawing the belly backwards up toward the sky to help draw the knees off the mat. 3, 2, and 1. Knees down. And we'll take one more cow and cat. And this time, might not work for everybody. Bring your hands forward just a couple of inches. We're going to take that again, and then we're going to roll over our toes, maybe, or just lift them and place them into downward dog. So belly strong, low back strong, nice long spine. Press the knees away, and then very slowly come into your downward facing dog. Pedal it out. And in your downward dog, if you're not drawing the belly in and up, like you could almost send it through your sitting bones, you're not doing your body a lot of favors. We're going to rise up to the tiptoes, press the chest to the thighs, keep it that way, bend your knees, and then look past your hands, tiptoe to them, and then when you get to the front of your mat, tiptoe through the tulips, your heels will drop down, and you'll be in your forward fold. To protect your low back, you might bend your knees. You might use your blanket to bring the floor closer. Here's one tip. As I mentioned earlier, when you lift from a fold, breathe out instead of in. So you might have to take an extra breath than other people around you if you take public classes, but draw the palms to the shins. Breathe in, breathe out, and press halfway up, lift. That lengthens your back, draws your belly in, and activates the whole belly from the pelvis all the way up to the breastbone. Exhale, forward fold. Breathe in. Exhale, halfway lift. Shoulders back, sitting bones back, crown of the head forward. Breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in. Breathe out, halfway lift, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, Uttanasana, forward fold. And then the same thing when we rise up. So we breathe out and in. Slowly breathe out, activating the belly as you rise up to standing. I look so tall because my head's cut off. Reach the arms out and up. Take a hold of your left wrist, give it a little tug, and a tilt over to the right. You don't want the left hip swinging out or back. That tweaks your low back. So this is all about from the hip bone all the way to the pinky finger. We rise up, switch your grasp, a little tug of the right hand, and tilt the other way. So what were the two remaining movements of the spine we didn't do? The twist left and right. So today we're going to rise up, bring the palms together overhead, and then draw them to the heart. To protect the low back, we're going to take a high chair, like a bar stool. So we're going to sit lightly down, draw the belly in, the pelvis forward, not the bum back. Energy in the heels. First, we're going to rise up to the balls of the feet. Imagine you're grasping something between your ankles. This is great balance, great strengthening of the feet and the ankles and of the thighs, imagining they are spinning together. Then bring the heels down. East-west twist. Left arm comes forward. Right arm peels open behind you. What tends to happen is we turn from the ankle and the left knee comes ahead of the right. We really want the rotation to come from the navel in the midline. So check into that. Beautiful twist. Gaze is over the back thumb if it can be. Belly still strong. We draw to center. And the other side, left hand reaches behind. Check your knees. Square your hips up. Draw forward. Inhale. Exhale, rise, arms up. Inhale. Exhale, arms back. A deep chair, almost like you're skiing. Exhale, arms up. Inhale. Exhale, arms up. Feels a little odd. Inhale, sweep the arms behind. And exhale, arms up. Breathe in. Breathe out, forward fold. Nice work. Halfway lift. Don't forget to breathe out. And exhale, forward fold. We'll take the left foot, step it as far in the back of the mat as possible. This is a place that we forget about being aware of the low back. So oftentimes we're sending the bum downward rather than sending the pelvis forward. So you need to use both legs. Set yourself up, right knee above the right ankle. Stretch, stretch, stretch into that back heel, and then peel the pelvis forward. Left hand down, right hand comes to the low back. Inhale halfway up, so your pelvis is still forward. You're still using the ball of the front foot, the ball of the back foot, the heel of the front foot, and then maybe you sweep that right arm forward and up, but either way, you work your way into a twist. If your right knee is moving out to the right, press your big toe mound into the earth. You want it straight to the sky. This is a nice hamstring stretch, a nice glute stretch on the right, and a little bit of a glute strengthening on the left, as well as a heel and ankle strengthener. Drop your right hand, drop your back knee. Find something to put underneath it if you need to. Untuck your left toes. Rise up, Anjaneyasana. We're going to bring our hands first to the thigh so we can set ourselves up. Some people might need to move their right foot out to the right for balance. I like to drop my hands by my sides because this is a back bend, but I also want to protect the low back. So I might sink a little bit into my front knee, tilt my pelvis forward, press the shoelace side of the back foot to the earth and the heel of the front foot. Now I've got my psoas, my hip flexor opening. I'm strengthening my glutes and I'm getting a back bend. It's like magic. If you feel like it's too much on your low back, really press the top of the back foot into the earth and then just send your pelvis a little backward. We're going to work into our twist again. Arms come overhead. Left arm forward, right arm behind. Watch that right knee. We can drop this into a back bend. The right hand comes behind the left glute or thigh, and the left arm reaches high. Woo, psoas is really at work now. We're going to windmill the arms down, left followed by right to take a half split. Ardha Hanumanasana. If you have a full split in your practice and it's available to you now, feel free to take it. I recommend bringing your hands backward rather than forward so you're not hunching. Imagine you're dragging your front heel backward. Your pelvis is tilted forward to lengthen the low spine. Shoulders reach back, heart reaches forward if you like a fold. We're going to plant the right foot. I like to move my right hand inside the foot to do that so it doesn't get all caught up in my mat. Tuck the back toes under. Lift that left hip. And then bring the left foot parallel to the back of the mat. And windmill your left arm up and then your right, finding your warrior two. Sweet! Lots of energy into the heels, into the outer edge of the back foot. We don't want the bum reaching back. We want the pelvis moving forward. We want to be able to feel the belly working. Reverse your warrior, maybe a half bind. Don't forget about the bend in the front knee. Triangle pose, straighten your front leg, arms out to the front and the back. Reach the right arm as far forward as you can without sending the butt back. And then drop your right hand. Doesn't matter how low you get. If you like, you can lift your left arm. Heart is opening to the sky. This is really nice because it squares up your hips. If you're aligning the body, I just had a few pops. More. Super pop. I'm going to come back into a warrior two. Reverse. Windmill the hands down around the front foot and step forward for your forward fold. Halfway lift. Don't forget to breathe out. Forward fold, Uttanasana. Rise to stand, breathe out. Arms wide and high, breathe in. Exhale, forward fold. Right foot way to the back of the mat. Take your time setting up for your runner's lunge. Hands sort of midline of the foot, heart forward. Nice stretch of the back leg, left knee over the left ankle. Shoulders toward your hips. Right hand down, left hand, heel of the hand at your low back. Breathe out, halfway lift. Breathe in, twist. Maybe your arm joins in. You really have to work that left knee inward, at least I do. This is lubricating the spine, the sacrum, so the low back is getting what it needs, while other parts of the body are working too. Drop your left hand, drop your back knee, untuck your toes. Prepare yourself, bring your hands to your thigh, and rise up. My psoas is already doing its work, but I'm a little wibbly wobbly, so I'm going to move my left foot out. And now I press into the shoelace side of the back foot and the heel of the front foot. I press away from the thigh and drop my hands for my back bend. My right glutes are super active to draw the tailbone down. And then I shift the pelvis forward a little bit to protect the low back. So much beauty at work here. So much of the body being worked just in this posture. East to west twist. Right arm forward, left arm behind. Whee! Can you feel your psoas, your hip flexor on the right? It's going, hey, hey, hey. And then if you like, a reverse, left hand behind your right glutes or your right thigh, right arm high. Right hand down, left hand down, half split, Ardha Hanumanasana. Remember to bring the hands backward. Lift the heart, send the shoulders toward the hips, draw the belly in. Heart forward if you want to fold a little bit more. Now we're going to move into warrior two. So hands on the mat. I like to bring my left hand inside my left foot to get that foot backward. Knee over the ankle. Tuck your back toes under. Then bring your back foot parallel to the back of the mat. Right arm starts the windmill up. Front knee is bent. Left arm reaches out in front. And again, it's easier to see on this side. We're not doing this. We're not doing this. We're doing this. Strong in that back leg, so squeeze your right glutes. Imagine that the thighs are sort of trying to draw together, even while they are spaced apart. Flip your front palm, reverse your warrior. Don't forget the bend in that front knee. Trikonasana triangle, front leg unbends, arms into a T. Make sure you're all equilibrium between your feet. Reach the left arm forward without setting the bottom back or forward. So reach, reach, reach. Drop your left hand, reach your right, or bring it to your hip. Not as many snap, crackle, and pops for me on this side. Bend your front knee, warrior two. Reverse. So this is the end of our standing sequence. And we draw the hands to the mat. Reach the left foot back to the right. Come to your forearms. So you're in a forearm plank. Very gently lift the right leg just a little bit. Use your belly. Drop the left foot. Lift the left leg a little bit. Drop the left foot. Bring your bony hips to the mat. Untuck your toes. Find your sphinx. So your elbows are below your shoulders. Your heart is lifted and your navel is lifted. If this is too much on your low back, there's one thing I always like to do, which is bring my feet closer to the outer edge of the mat. Come all the way down to the mat. Widen the arms so that they are in a cactus shape, and bring the left side of your head to the mat. Bring your feet a little closer if they're wide-legged. Fallen tree, so your right knee bends outward to the right, and the right foot comes to the inside of the left thigh or calf. You want to see how close your right hip can get to the mat without forcing it. Forehead comes to the mat, legs elongate, elbows draw underneath the shoulders again for another sphinx. Fingers wide, heart up and forward, glutes loose, shoulders down. Imagine you're drawing the mat backward with like sticky fingers. Could be honey or glue or Velcro or maple syrup. There we go. And we breathe. 3, 2, lift the navel. And 1, all the way down to the mat. Right cheek this time to the mat. Arms out in, they should be outside the mat in a cactus shape. And now our fallen tree on this side. Bending the left knee out to the left. You might need to shift your right leg a little bit. Working to draw the left hip bone toward the mat. Usually done by relaxing rather than forcing. Left leg lengthens. Forehead returns to the mat. 1 more sphinx, our final back bend. Into your child's pose. You're welcome to take Balasana 1 with the knees together. You might find that after those back bends, that helps more. Sitting bones toward your heels. If you need something behind your knees, take it. If you're in Balasana 1, the top of the head to the earth rather than the forehead, and the hands by the sides. A great place to come back to that which brings us joy. Bringing this green gem of light into the heart and spreading into all the nooks and crannies of the body. All right, come into your tabletop. We're going to work our way into pigeon before we come to our backs for one last twist. So go ahead and take the right foot and bring it toward the left wrist. The shin does not have to be straight. Tuck your left toes under and scoot the knee away from the right foot. I'm going to encourage you, rather than sitting on the right hip or placing something underneath it, you just go ahead and relax into the pose. And if you feel like you need something under the right hip, once you get down after a couple breaths, feel free to do that. I'm just going to use my fist because I don't want the hips to be unsquared, which is why I don't insist on having the front shin as parallel as possible to the front of the mat. All right, now we'll shift onto the right hip. Swing the left leg around in front with the bent knee. Lean onto the left hip and find our pigeon here, making sure that back leg is coming straight out of the hip. We'll shift onto the left hip now. Swing the right leg around. Bend your knees so the soles of the feet are on the mat. And we're just going to reach the arms forward, lift the heart. I say just. We're working the core as we come down. So really slowly, the belly's strong. Big toe mounds on the earth. 5, 4. Use the belly. 3, 2, I should have started at a higher number. 1, 0, and -1, -2, arms overhead, legs straight, a nice full body pencil stretch. Hug the right knee into the chest. Actually, maybe shift your hips a little to the right Hug your right knee into your chest, cross it over your body. Come on to the left side of the body. And then spread the right arm to the right, your gaze follows. We're aiming to have the shoulder blades on the mat. So if this is too much for you, you can loosen the top leg a little bit. But rather than a deeper twist, the shoulder blades to the mat are the desirable shape. Lots of glute stretch today. And take it to the other side. We roll onto the back. Both feet on the mat. Shift the hips a little to the left. Extend the left leg. Hug the right leg. Hug the left knee in. Draw over onto that right hip. And drop the left arm out to the left. The gaze will follow. Extend the full length of your spine back onto the mat. Straighten it as much as it would naturally be. And any final movement or shape your body is asking for, feel free. You might reverse the blood flow by drawing the legs to the sky. You can bring your palms to the mat with the backs of your hands under your low back. Or you might take a happy baby or just hug your knees in and rock left and right. Okay, find your final resting posture, Shavasana. The traditional is legs long on the mat, palms facing up, and no limbs touching other limbs or touching the body, except, of course, where they're attached. Joy. A green, powerful gem sending its light outward. Return to awareness of the body and the breath and start to breathe more deeply. Utilizing your prana, your life force, you'll find your way to a seat in any way that comes naturally to you. If you want to grab your blanket or your bolster or whatever you have to sit on, feel free. I now feel open enough after practice not to require one. We'll draw the hands to the heart and come back to that notion of joy and that which brings you joy, whether it's a thing or a being or a sound or art or flowers. And let's take the shape of the hands as they are and place them right above the crown of the head. Almost as if we could share all the amazingness of our crown chakra with all the amazingness of our heart chakra, which, by the way, they naturally do, but we are taking a shape to create that linkage so that we notice joy more, we create joy more, we share more joy. Thumbs back to your heart center, where we will close to the sound of Om. Not requisite to join in. Feel free if you like. All the air is exhaled from the lungs before a deep breath in and Om. Thumb goes right to the center of your forehead. May joy be yours, and may joy be yours to share. Namaste. Thank you for the treasure of practicing with you today or on demand whenever you happen to be looking at this. I hope to see you again next week. I think most Saturdays right now, we're still going to stick with the 9:30, especially because it's raining here every Saturday. But if and when we add back the stretch and sip to the feather bed in location, I will be making this class a half hour earlier. That will not be every Saturday. It rains too much. So heartfelt joy to you and gratitude to you. Thank you. Have a good one.